It's Thursday, September 8, 2022. For 5-Minute News, I'm Anthony Davis on the Midas Media Network, bringing you the very sad news that Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the UK's longest-serving monarch, has died at Balmoral, aged 96, after reigning for 70 years. Her family gathered at her Scottish estate after concerns grew about her health earlier on Thursday. You may have seen images of her on just Tuesday, looking well and happy as she welcomed a new British Prime Minister, Liz Truss. Well, the Queen came to the British throne in 1952 and witnessed enormous social change and always did her best to keep up with it. With her death, her eldest son Charles, the former Prince of Wales, will lead the country in mourning as the new king and head of state for 14 Commonwealth realms. In a statement, Buckingham Palace said the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. All of the Queen's children travelled to Balmoral, near Aberdeen in Scotland, after doctors placed the Queen under medical supervision. This is a very unusual thing to hear. The British media are prepared and well versed. The BBC, the state broadcaster, my former employer, switched to a 24-hour rolling news coverage on their main channel, which certainly was a signal to the rest of the British media and the rest of the world that this was a very serious event. Her grandson, Prince William, is also there with his brother, Prince Harry, on his way. Queen Elizabeth's tenure as head of state spanned post-war austerity, the transition from empire to Commonwealth, the end of the Cold War, and the UK's entry into and withdrawal from the European Union. Her reign spanned 15 prime ministers, starting with Winston Churchill, born in 1874, right up to Liz Truss, born 101 years later in 1975 and appointed by the Queen earlier this week. Well, in London at Buckingham Palace, crowds were awaiting updates on the Queen's condition. They began to cry as they heard the news of her death. My American friends find it very difficult to understand the significance of a royal family. And I always try and stress the fact that, the Queen has reigned for so long that all of us have only known Her Majesty the Queen on the throne. And she doesn't reign over us officially. We are her loyal subjects, but it's very nuanced. It's kind of a bit of fun. It's cultural. It's great for tourism. There are so many aspects to the British royal family. And I would say that the majority of the British people respect the Queen and care enormously about her, especially during this period, this very sad time, as the royal family announced the death of Her Majesty the Queen on Thursday, September 8, 2022. For 5-Minute News and Midas Touch, I'm Anthony Davis.